Hello, South family. Welcome to our parent orientation night. We're going to go ahead and give just a few more minutes for our families to trickle in. If you have any questions, please go ahead and type them in the chat. If you're joining us through YouTube, please go ahead and type in your question through there. If you're joining us through Facebook, please go ahead and do the same. Type your chat in there. So welcome to our South Junior High School parent orientation night. We're going to go ahead and give a few more minutes for our families to join us. Thank you for joining us. Hang tight. We'll start very shortly. For those of you who just joined us, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to go ahead and allow for a few more minutes for our families to join us. So hang tight. We'll be answering questions as we go along. Thank you. All right, South family, we're going to go ahead and get started tonight. Today's parent orientation will cover, you're going to have the chance to meet our team. We'll cover return to in-person instruction. I know there's a lot of questions surrounding that, so we'll go ahead and touch on that and answer any questions that you might have. We'll do our best to answer as many questions as possible. We will be keeping a record of the questions that we have in the chat, and we will be releasing a document as soon as possible for our families with the questions and answers that most of our families are asking here during our parent orientation. We were going to go over the first day of school, and I know there's a lot of questions about schedules and when will my student get the actual schedule with the teacher and classroom numbers, so we're going to cover that. We're going to go over COVID safety procedures, what to bring to school. The first day of school, I know we haven't been in person in quite a bit, so we're going to cover and let you know what we recommend you have your student bring for first day of school. We're going to go over our expectations for our students, our expectations of our staff, and our expectation of parents as in this presentation. We're also going to discuss family and community engagement, what that looks like here at South, and why it's so important for our students to succeed. And lastly, we'll be talking about communications and ways for you to stay connected to our campus and our school. All right, and so we're going to go ahead and introduce our team. We're going to introduce this year. We are starting our year with a new principal here at South Junior High. I have the pleasure of introducing our new principal, Ms. Yoli Mejia, and she'll be joining us live right now.
Hello, South families. Hello again. Yes, my name is Yoli Mejia, and I am new to South, your new principal here at South. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you, your children, and the staff so that we can work together to support our students and help them be successful. Again, very excited. I have been in the district for a few years. I have been an administrator for over 15 years, or actually, this is my 16th year as an administrator and now as a principal. My last school was Anaheim High School. Before that, I was at Laura High School as assistant principal. And before that, I was at Sycamore Junior High as a teacher. And now I am very proud to be here with all of you, already stepping in, getting to know the staff. Got to see some of the wonderful students during registration and during our Jumpstart. Very nice to see students on campus. It feels good to feel their energy and see their faces. We were very excited about that. So just to continue on meeting our administrators, our administrative staff, we have Mr. Todd Swans, assistant principal. Would you like to say a few words, Mr. Swans?
Absolutely. Thank you, Ms. Mejia. So my name is Todd Swans. This is my 4th year here at South as an assistant principal. I've been in the district for 16 years, where I taught over at Brookhurst. I've been over at Catella High School for over 10 years. And then before that, I was over at Ball Junior High School for a couple of years. But very, very excited for this school year and excited to meet your students.
Next, we have our new to South as well, our new assistant principal, Carly Rasmussen.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so excited to be joining you. My name is Carly Rasmussen. I go by Miss R. That's what most of the students call me. I am joining you all the way from San Francisco. This is my 10th year in education, but my first year in South. And I'm really excited to be joining South and getting to know all of you this year.
Thank you both. And as you can see from the slide, they are divided by alpha. So Mr. Swans will be working with students with last names A through L, and Ms. R will be working with students M through Z. Thank you. And as we go along, feel free to ask questions. Again, we're very excited. Again, we are South. We are family. Definitely the family feel is very much present and alive here at this school. A very nice way to welcome your students and to obviously make them part of our family, as they already are. Up next, we have our counseling team, and I'm going to introduce our lead counselor, Mrs. Candace Dion, who will introduce her team. Mrs. Dion?
Good evening. It's so nice to be able to welcome you to our South family this school year. I get the distinct pleasure of introducing to you the best counseling team in the district, the people that I'm so grateful to work with, who are going to support your students for the next either year or a couple of years. Cecilia Sobranis is the school counselor who will work with students whose last names begin with A through GI. And Amber Serkes is the counselor who's going to work with students whose last names begin with GL through O. And I get to work with students whose last names begin with P through Z.
Kenny, you want to go to the next slide? All right, joining us for the social emotional support is Miss Nubia Miguel. She is our school social worker. And then she's going to introduce our school psychologist, Kim Campos. Miss Miguel?
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you everyone for being here today. My name is Nubia Miguel and I'm a district social worker for AUHSD. The social worker role at South Junior High comprises of one-to-one support for students, linkage to outpatient clinics, referrals to outpatient clinics, community services, in the area, as well as many other things, group counseling, crisis response, you name it, we do it. We do anything to support our students, but also our families. We work in tandem with our FACES as well. I don't know if Miss Campos is with us, but Miss Kim Campos is our new school psych at South Junior High for this school year. And he services all special education students, assessment, DIS counseling, anything that falls under special education.
Thank you, Ms. Miguel.
All right, our next staff consists of our office support. We have an awesome administrative assistant, Ms. Elvia Preciado. We have Maria Murillo. She's a school support. Mildred Sierra. So when you have to call in for absences or something that has to do with attendance, she's the person that's going to be answering your calls. And then Jessica Reynoso. She's the person right when you walk in our front office. She's the one that meets and greets as families and students come in. We also have in the counseling office our registrar and health tech and our translator. For our registrar, we have Kathy Huerta. For our health tech, we have Angel Jones. And for our interpreter, translator, we have Omar Garza.
And to support our family and community engagement team, we have myself, which I didn't introduce myself at the beginning. My name is Kenny Perez. I'm the family and community engagement specialist here at South. Proudly been serving our community for 6 years now. So I love to help out families and make sure that you are receiving the support that you need. This year, alongside, I have my partner, Daniel Uresti, who is a community liaison here at South Junior High School and will also be supporting our families throughout the year with any resources that you might need as we go along.
Hello again. So just some general information on our return to in-person instruction. As you see there on our slide, the first day of school is this Wednesday, August 11th. So you still have some time to go out and buy, the back to school items that you will probably be needing. It's also good to wait till after your students meet with their teachers. That way they get more detailed information as to what to buy. School starts at 8 a.m. We do serve breakfast at 7:30 a.m. if students want to get here in time for breakfast. That is the time we start serving breakfast, and it gives them an opportunity, especially on the first days, to explore the campus, find their classrooms. School does end at 2:25 p.m. Main office hours. So if you need to contact the office or maybe stop by, you just saw the slide of the staff that supports our parents. The office time is from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m.
All right, and now for the questions that most parents have, as well as students. What's going to be the first day of school? What's it going to look like in the morning? Well, on the first day of school, we're going to have a couple of different spots for 7th graders and 8th graders to check and find out where they're going to go during first period. We're going to have students. So if I'm a 7th grader, I'm going to walk through the big double gates. There's going to be plenty of office staff, teachers, administration, campus safety, directing students to go to the proper board where they're going to find their name, and then it's going to give them a room number. They're going to go to that room number, and then that's when they're going to receive their class schedule for periods 1 through 7. And then that's also where they're going to receive a goodie bag as well as their school planner. You can also view and print out your school schedule starting on Wednesday, August 4th on Aries. So again, you will report to your first period class where your teacher will hand you a schedule, an agenda, and then on the back of the agenda or on the back of the school schedule will be a map. Listed below, we did have a change in our bell schedule this year. New legislation went in this year. So all junior high schools have to start at 8 o'clock. So South Junior High School is going to start at 8. We have at 7:55, students will hear a bell. During that time, that's the transition bell. So they're going to go to their class. And then at 8 o'clock, they'll hear what is called the tardy bell. Okay. And then that's going to be their advisement. They'll sit through their advisement period, and then they'll transition to their normal periods of the day, which is 1st through 7th period. I'm looking in the chat and it says, is there a late start? Yes. Late start will take place on Thursdays. All late starts, again, will take place on Thursday. And there's also attached to the PowerPoint. On the back of your student schedule will also be, again, the bell schedule, so they know what to follow. And they can, it's a really nice little item. They can go ahead and put it in their planners as well. COVID-19 safety protocols. Before leaving your home, please make sure that your student has their uniform, their backpack, they have to have a mask, and a refillable water bottle. We're going to be giving out a water bottle on day number 1 in their advisement class. It's a nice little water bottle that makes it where you don't have to actually touch the water station or anything like that. We have touchless water systems here at South. You put the bottle up and then it fills it up for the student. Nice ice cold water for them. So make sure they're bringing that. When they bring them home, please make sure they label it, that they put their name on it. You must self-assess at home. So if I'm at home and I'm kind of having any symptoms that are COVID related, then I'm going to want to stay home and assess it until the next day. So you're going to go ahead and call Millie. That phone number is going to be 714-999-3667. And then they can go ahead and direct you on next steps. So again, if you are feeling sick, please do not come to school. All right, we do have the biggest thing, which is students have to wear a mask entering school. But once they enter, it is okay if they are outside to take the mask and put it down. You can have your mask off during any outside activity, but masks are required in any and all classrooms and anything with the roof. You must, and then the last part, we just received new update. There is no social distancing. There is no social distancing. So the 3 foot, please disregard that. I apologize for that. All right, COVID-19 safety protocols. Some of the basic things that we've been doing now for the last 18 months is wash your hands regularly. We do have hand washing stations throughout the campus. We received 6 of them. So if you're kind of feeling like, hey, my hands are kind of gross, absolutely, we allow students to go out there and clean up. Hand sanitizers are in every classroom. So if they want to do that, they also have that option. And then what's in the picture is actually an air purifier. These air purifiers are in every classroom. So we checked the square footage, and in the classrooms that needed 2, then they received 2. But most of the classrooms were small enough where this would be sufficient. And then some of the questions I also see in the chat are classes and restrooms sanitized daily? Absolutely. So every day, classrooms will be fully sanitized and restrooms will be sanitized 3, if not more, times throughout the day. One of the questions is, how safe is the school to return in person, and what procedures is South Junior High School on keeping the school clean? That is our number 1 priority, is to make sure students, staff, parents, families, everyone is in a safe environment. How do we know what lunch our child is assigned to? So if I can go back to that, you know what, I'll address that one later.
Okay, so we're going to jump into the uniform policy now. We've made some adjustments to the uniform policy, so we have a new and improved policy to review with you this evening. So all tops must have sleeves, and they must be a polo shirt that's either navy blue, white, or red, so our school colors. school spirit or school club gear. Those can be t-shirts. And then any university shirt or sweater of any color. Pants that's supposed to be shorts or skirts can all be worn in any color. That includes jeans. Skirts and shorts just must be mid-thigh, and jeans may have holes. They just have to be below, from the mid-thigh or below. Okay, so what to bring to school, especially this first week. So first, your uniform, of course. A positive attitude. I know the staff here is so excited to be greeting students in person. So we're hoping that our students are going to be coming with the same positive spirit with us. Face mask and a water bottle, just like Mr. Swan said, face mask is going to be mandatory. And water bottle, make sure you have a refillable one. We'll have one available to you so that you can fill up water bottles from those stations. And then school supplies, just come with a backpack, pens, pencils, and notebook. Your teachers are going to go into much more detail about any supplies that are required for their class. So just the basics for the first week will be enough. And then some important things to know. So student IDs. Students are going to be taking their ID pictures and receiving their IDs during the first week of school in their PE class. So on Thursday of this week, 7th graders will be taking their pictures. And on Friday, 8th graders will be taking their pictures. Students are going to receive their ID and a lanyard, and it's going to be required that all students are wearing their ID with their lanyard around their neck at all times. Textbooks, the majority of textbooks were distributed during registration. If your teachers are going to be using any other textbooks in class, they will be administering those during their class, checking them out to students during class. And there will also be an option for students to take the ebook if they prefer to have a digital textbook. And then last, PE uniforms and locks are going to be sold during the first week of school in PE classes.
Yes, as far as what you should expect from us, I know all parents are concerned with coming back post-pandemic. So as you have already heard, our priority is to make sure as best we can with everything, guidance from the CDC and state mandates that we keep up with the cleanliness and encouraging the mask wearing. From there, our focus with teachers and staff these last 4 days has been in providing opportunity for our teachers to collaborate and all of us to help create a caring and welcoming environment for all our students. Like I said, after pandemic, we haven't seen our students, they haven't seen us. Like it was said in one of our meetings, some of our students haven't been in a classroom since they were in 5th grade. So we really have that at the forefront. And we want to make sure that we make students feel welcome and have everything ready that has to do with obviously being safe, but also that they feel safe emotionally. And we obviously do that through the family atmosphere that South has created from day one, obviously keeping respect at the forefront of everything we do and encouraging the work that we do through our the 5 C's, which is character and kindness, collaboration, communication, creativity, and critical thinking. So this is something that I'm sure parents you're aware of as you, if you're new to our district as 7th graders, that you're going to continue to hear about is the work that we are doing as a district on the 5 C's. And like I said, those are the ones that I just mentioned right now on character, collaboration, communication, creativity, and critical thinking. But again, going back to our focus is ensuring that the students feel welcome, that they feel safe. A lot of information will be given to them during their advisement period. I know there was, I think, a question about that. And I can have Mr. Swans elaborate since he's been here the longest and has more details. But basically, advisement period is that first period of the day where they come in. The students come in for about 22 to 24 minutes, and there's a lot of information that's provided that's helpful to them for to create a welcoming environment and to inform them of anything that we need to inform them of as far as being a South Eagle, helping them navigate school, anything that we feel and teachers feel they need to know to be better students. There's lessons that teachers have put together that helps them, learn about being a student and, about building community and things like that. So advisement is a time period that we use to build all those things for our students. I'm not sure if Mr. Swans has anything more to add, but it's basically a period that we use to support, in general, different areas of what it is to be a South Eagle.
No, that was very well described. A lot of it is a 6-year plan that we also have with Catella and as well as other high schools within the district. And, we work very well with them, and we kind of go over lessons that will help smooth the transition from maybe subject to subject, but also from junior high to high school.
All right, so going back to what we expect from students, again, arrive at least 20 minutes before the start of the first period. Again, that positive attitude. And I know the first days there might be a little anxiety, and just know, students and parents, that we are aware of that. Us as adults too, we're all coming back, to in-person instruction after being gone for 18 months. So it's very normal to feel a little apprehension, a little anxiety. But that's the work we're doing now is to help us all get ready to receive our students and support them in any way that they see that they need. Bringing your school supplies daily, and that's a given ever since you were in elementary school. That's something you've had to do. Obviously, participation helps in a lot of ways. It allows students to demonstrate that what they're learning, and allows you to build those relationships with other students and your teachers. Completing your assignments goes without saying, but just a friendly reminder, you want to keep up with those assignments. And if you need help, obviously reaching out to teachers, even communicating to your parents, so that if you need further assistance, they can contact the school. It's always important to become a well-rounded student, to get involved in school sports, activities, and clubs. And advisement period is another venue that we use to promote that. And there'll be more information later on here in the slides about sports. And obviously, we will be getting information out to our students on ways they can get involved in clubs and other activities. Ask for emotional and academic help when needed. Like I had just said, not only, obviously, you're here to learn, and part of that is turning in work, but number one is your health, your mental, your physical health. So if at any point you're feeling anxious, depressed, or you just need someone to talk to, reach out. Your first line of defense is your teacher in the classroom that you have. From there, your counselors, any staff member really, but I know obviously you see your teachers every day, so that's probably the person that you're going to want to start with. But anybody on campus can guide you to the right person. If you still haven't built that rapport with the teachers, which you'll see right away on that first week, the first few days, you'll start to get to know your teachers, and you'll know who that teacher is that's going to be the one that you can build more of a deeper relationship with, and maybe be the one that you can seek out to get further support. So it's all about creating those relationships and knowing where to go and where to get the help.
Thank you, Ms. Mejia. So it's very important for you to know where to go when you need help. And so another important component for us here at South is to make sure that our parents are connected, and that you as a parent understand that there's also a set of expectations that we have in order to help our students succeed to the most of their potential. So we want to make sure that at the core of what you're doing at home is to establish that relationship with your child, to have those conversations, talk to them daily about how their school is going, and ask them questions about, hey, what's something that made you smile today? A different question other than how was your school day? Because we all know, right, that if we ask a middle schooler, how are they doing? The answer, or how was school today? The answer is probably going to be a one-worded answer, and probably not what we were looking for. So there's ways to ask questions, probing questions, where you're going to be able to get the best out of these conversations. And we do have workshops set up for our parents where we go a little bit more in depth about what this looks like, this effective communication with our teens. Make sure that your child attends school every day. It's super important as a parent to ensure that your student is coming to campus every day, whether it's ensuring that they go to the bus stop or they're being dropped off. Checking your Aries parent portal is very important. That is a valuable tool for our parents, and you're able to check attendance there updated up to the last minute. So if you're having questions or concerns about your student not getting to school on time or missing a period, you're able to check that there right away. If your student is not feeling sick, this year's a little different, right? In the past, we would power through, you have the sniffles, power through it. But this year it's a little bit different. So we want to make sure that our kids are staying home if they're not feeling well. And if that's going to happen, please make sure to call our attendance office, call our main office, and let us know that your student is not coming. So like I said, I mentioned the Aries Parent Portal. I can't stress how important the Aries Parent Portal is for our students. And it's what you use to complete your enrollment earlier this summer for this school year. So on there, you're going to be able to check grades, review attendance. You're going to be able to also go into something else called communications, which I'll talk a little bit more later on. But in case you're missing emails, or you're not getting our emails, you're not getting our calls, or you're getting them in the wrong language, that is where you're able to go in and change and update any settings regarding communication, regarding notifications, and the frequency that you're getting them. Also through communications, our Parent Square, you're able to communicate directly, message our teachers, or you're also able to get that direct email if you're wanting to do it that traditional format. Now, we have a parent program here that's going to start fairly soon. It's called Ready, Set, Go. And on there, we talk about establishing these routines for our students. Remember, we haven't been in person for over a year now. So going back to a routine of waking up on time, getting ready, whatever that looks like for you, so that you're not leaving home. And by the time you get to school, both of you are extremely angry at each other because you just had an argument about somebody not waking up on time, somebody not getting ready. So it's very important to talk about and establish those routines before school starts and have those very clear expectations. And like I said, Ready, Set, Go is a parent workshop that we have for our parents. It's 3 modules, and we're going to talk about that and what that looks like. So I invite you to participate and join in. We're going to be sending out that information fairly soon for our families. And then another thing that parents talk about or ask are, sometimes there's kids come home and they say they don't have any homework. It's very important for you at home to establish an hour or 30 minutes where it's school time, regardless of whatever they're doing. Make sure that time is designated for school, regardless of homework or not. If there's any changes at home that could affect your student, please let our counseling team know. We have support here for our student. We have our social worker, we have our school psych if that's what is needed. And our counselors are amazing, and they're all here to help out your students. So please do not hesitate to call us and reach out. We are here to support you. And again, I talked about the parent workshops. Aside from Ready, Set, Go, we do have additional opportunities like our parent learning walk. Those are going to be opportunities for parents to come on campus. So stay tuned and be ready for that information. Attend school events. So you'll be hearing that from me, and you'll be hearing throughout the year with those special invitations for the events as we go. And Mr. Swans is now going to talk about after-school sports.
Thank you, Kenny. Yes, after-school sports is something that the Anaheim Union High School District still does, which is awesome. I believe we're the only district in Orange County that still offers after-school sports programs for their students. For first quarter, we offer flag football, girls volleyball, and boys tennis. Then we transition over to second quarter, boys basketball, girls tennis, and girls soccer. Third quarter, we offer girls basketball, boys soccer, and then cross country. For fourth quarter, we have boys volleyball, softball, and track and field. For the first quarter, all the way through the fourth quarter, students are going to go out after school. They're going to dress back out in their PE clothes, and then they're going to meet up with their coaches. Most of the stuff for the first, actually all of the things for the first 5.5, maybe 6 weeks will take place here at South. Then the final week, we have what they call intramurals. For intramurals, it's the same program, but we will go to another site and play another school in football. And then they might actually come down and then play us in girls volleyball. So it's the fostering that when you go to high school, this is what you need to expect. Now, a question from Gabby is, how do our students sign up for sports? During the first week, on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, when we do the announcements and ETV, which is Eagle Television, we're going to go ahead and give guidance to students that, hey, on Monday, we need you to go report after school to the gym area. We're going to have sports signups. Students will then sign up, and then they're going to be dismissed to go home for that day. And then the next day, we'll go ahead and transition into sports. Yes, absolutely. So it doesn't matter how good the student is at the particular sport. They could be a total novice at it. That's okay. The thing is just get out and have fun. So yeah, we take every level.
Thank you, Mr. Swans. So we'll be able to answer questions after we're done with the presentation. So don't worry. I know there's a lot of questions that you might have or that are typed in the chat. Don't worry. We'll get to those as soon as the presentation is over. I talked about opportunities for engagement. Here are some of them. And like I said, you'll be able to get information on these through our social media and on Parent Square. So stay tuned, stay connected. You'll have Coffee with the Principal, which is coming up this Friday. Coffee with the Principal is a great opportunity for our families. It's a smaller group. Parents are able to get up-to-the-minute information about our campus. All of these questions that we have about safety procedures, you're able to come to our Coffee with the Principal and ask them, or anything that's going on our campus, we address that during our Coffee with the Principal. And then we also do have some special guests for our parents. For example, we talk about the pledge. What's the pledge? Well, we'll talk about it there during our Coffee with the Principal and other workshops that we have available for our parents. And in addition to that, talking about engaging and talking about being involved, our PTSA needs our parents. So we sent out an email a couple of days ago asking parents to join. Again, if you're not getting those emails, don't worry. Log on to your Parent Square and check your notifications because you might not have them selected. But we are looking for parents to be part of our board. So if you're interested in being an active leader on our campus, making a change and helping us help our students with special projects that otherwise wouldn't be possible, please consider being part of our PTA. It's only a couple of meetings a month, and you know in advance, and as a board, you get together and you decide when we meet as a group. Please consider being part of our PTSA. And then in addition to that, another opportunity for engagement, and we're looking for parents to join, is our school site council. So the school site council is a team composed of our principal, composed of teachers, students, and of course, parents and community members. Together, they meet to discuss how funds that our school receives are being spent, how they're being used, how are we best serving our students. If this is something that you're interested in, they only meet once a month. If this is something that you're interested in, please check your email or, of course, reach out to me. The contact information is at the end. You'll have my phone number there available for you. But please consider being part of either one of these amazing opportunities for our leadership on our campus. Now, I talked about Parent Square earlier, and Parent Square is new to our school district this year. It is embedded right into your Aries parent portal. There are a couple of steps that you do need to take. So like I said, if you want to get to know more how that works, join us on our Ready, Set, Go, where we're going to talk about one of the modules is dedicated purely on technology, where we talk about the Aries parent portal, we talk about Parent Square, and we talk about eCadence and what these do for us as parents. So for Parent Square, download the Parent Square app today. Use the email that you use to create your Aries parent portal, and you're able to set up your password from there. And you will not miss any communication sent from our school if you download that app. It's a really good app. It works really great. You'll see everything on there. So please do that. It's available on your app store of choice, whether it's Google or or the Apple App Store. And of course, everything nowadays is on social media, right? So if you prefer to use our social media, please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Our handle is the same across the board at South AUHSD. You'll find us. We post about all of the events that we have going on. You'll see information there for students, projects that we want to highlight. You'll see them there too. So please stay connected with us on social media so that you stay up to date with everything that's happening here at South. And that way, in case you miss a call, social media has your back. The information is on there for you too. All right.
Okay, so our last slide here, but definitely we're not done. We'll have time to answer some questions. It's just our contact information. There is our main office phone number and then our attendance office. You can go ahead and maybe take a picture of that. That's probably the fastest way. If you still have any questions with registration, that number is listed there. And our family center where you will find Kenny and Daniel is listed there as well. So at this time, I do want to have Kenny guide us in the format that we're going to answer our questions. We want to make sure we get all of your questions answered so that you are feeling at ease when your students come to school on Wednesday.
Adam. Excellent. Thank you so much. So we do have a couple of questions on here. Daniel, can you go ahead and select the first question that we have? So from Ducan, what if I want to change a class? And that's a question that we typically get every year. And so we'll have, if we can have maybe an admin or a member of our counseling team answer this question, that would be amazing. Well, how about we bring in Miss Dion for this question as well?
Hi there. Well, we are going to have the first couple weeks of school where students aren't even learning content in their classes. They're going to have an opportunity to do team building and get to know each other and have a lot of time to connect with each other, learn the procedures of how to be back in school, learn how to communicate with each other and get to know their teacher. But if there's a request, like there's an error, we will certainly fix an error immediately. Like a student doesn't have a required class, like English, math, history, science, or PE. If it's something that is a desired change, like I ended up with this particular elective and I think that I would prefer something else, whatever, students can request to talk with us about that. But right now we cannot guarantee that we can make that change because of class sizes. So they certainly are going to be able to communicate with us about that. And we have QR codes that are going to be around the campus that they can use to fill out a form as far as filling out, letting us know that they want to talk with us about something, and then the best time for us to meet with them, whether it's before school or after school. Or if they don't have a device to do that with, we have some paper copies in the counseling office of a request to see a counselor to talk about something, and they can fill that out at that time. So we will certainly meet with students and talk with them about their requests, but I can't say right now that we can guarantee that request will be granted because of class sizes and availability in those.
Thank you, Ms. Dion, for answering that question. We have another question from Violet. How much are the uniforms going to be? Mr. Swans?
Yes, so PE uniforms cost $25 for the bundle. That includes a shirt, shorts, and a lock. I know there was another question in the chat that said, can I buy multiple shirts? Can I buy 2 shirts and maybe another pair of shorts? Absolutely. So you let us know what you need, and then we'll go ahead and get them for you. But again, $10 for the shirt, $10 for the short, $5 for the lock.
And I do want to stress that if there are any families that are experiencing hardship, we understand it could be difficult. Please reach out to the family center. Either myself or Daniel will reach out to you, and we'll be able to provide any assistance if it is needed. So don't hesitate. Please reach out. We are here to support you. Next question is, how will students pay for their uniforms? Can they bring cash?
Yeah, so the only form of payment will be cash, and that'll take place during PE during the second week of school. So we start school on the 11th, and then on the following Monday, we're going to start selling PE clothes in the gym area.
Great, thank you. All right, here's the next question from Ms. Watson. If our student wasn't at a registration, when will they receive their textbooks?
That's a great question. As Ms. Dion mentioned, students will not be diving into curriculum in their classes for the first couple weeks, which also gives teachers an opportunity to check out textbooks or materials that are needed for students in that time frame. So if students miss registration, their content teachers will be the ones issuing the textbooks that they need. But like we mentioned before, no need to stress about it. We'll have plenty of time before we're jumping in with those materials, and they'll have time to check those out.
Great, thank you. From Ms. Villalobos, if a student is attending special education, what can I expect for my student?
Another great question. So if your student is coming to us with an IEP, you can be rest assured that their IEP minutes and services are going to be implemented with fidelity. Hopefully within the first week, you will be in contact with your case carrier, so you know who your student is working with if you didn't get to meet them at the fly-ups or the transition meetings. But every service that's offered in their IEP will continue here at South, and you'll be in contact with your case carrier early on in the start of school to make sure that all your questions are being answered and you know who to reach out to.
Thank you, Ms. Rasmussen. The first question, Ms. Garcia's question is, will late start start the first week of school? Oh, Mr. Swans, I believe you're muted.
All right, sorry about that. Yes, late start will take place not this week, but the following week. So it will not take place technically the first week, but it'll take place the following.
Great. So this Thursday, there is no late start. Late start will begin next week. All right, here's another question. Is there an after-school program where you can go work on homework?
Yes, we do offer after-school tutoring. There's going to be more information sent out. We're still working on the hours that's going to take place. But in years past, it's always been, I believe, Monday through Thursdays with a little bit of after-school time on Fridays.
Excellent. And just so that our parents know, there is no fee. It's completely free for our students, no cost tutoring, and there is no need to sign up. So all the thing that students need to do is just come and attend our tutoring and get the help that they need. Ms. Acevedo has a question. How many students are in a class?
Okay, I'll go ahead and take that question. So right now our goal when we completed master schedule was to keep it at 30 or less inside our classrooms. So our target number was 30. Looking at the master schedule, I would say 99% of the classes are under that 30% or under that 30. The only exceptions would be PE, which those are outside courses.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Swans. And to add to that, Ms. Dubon is asking, are wearing masks going to be enforced, or how is it going to be enforced?
Yes, we just had a meeting today talking to staff. We're also going to have another meeting tomorrow to go over expectations for everyone, staff, students, visitors on campus, that when you are in a classroom, you have to wear a mask. The only exception is PE. If a teacher is not wearing a mask, then we'll have conversations with them, just like we also will with students. So yes, the expectation is we have plenty of masks. So if a student does accidentally forget it, or I know how things go, maybe the end breaks, we have other ones that we can issue to the student.
Thank you, Mr. Swans. Ms. Vargas, the question is, if students are not picked up on time, is there a place where they can wait? A library, the office? What can our students do if they're not picked up on time?
I could go ahead and answer that one. In years past, what students will usually do is they can go to the library for the study hall. Sometimes they go out to the intramurals and they'll watch their friends participate. Or what they'll do is they'll wait out in the front of the school. We do have benches and stuff with trees, and that's where most of them will just kind of hang out and wait for their ride.
Great, thank you. A question from Espineda: will they be provided a Chromebook in case they have to stay home and not be absent?
From what we know right now, there's Chromebook cards being put in every classroom. If a student can't come and they're missing work, it would just be treated like any other time when they were absent. And we do have a new learning management system called eCadence, and that's it's live, so it's students can go on there. Teachers will have their assignments there, so they really shouldn't miss. But I do know that there was a survey that was sent out for parents as to students that might need a Chromebook, and I think they were looking at setting up with those students. But if their student is absent and they're afraid to miss any of the work, the policy of the teachers is usually to give them a day once they come back to ask for that missed work so that they can get caught up. And that's, just kind of been the norm since before we went virtual. So we will be obviously looking to see if students need further support with technology, how we can make that happen.
Thank you. A question from Ms. Guerra. When will PTA be reaching out to those of us that register to help? If they haven't done so, they will be doing it very soon. So stay tuned for a call. Thank you so much, Ms. Guerra, for expressing interest in being part of our team. I look forward to working with you. So don't worry. Hang tight. We will reach out to you very soon. Ms. Smith has a question. What is your policy on cell phones?
So it really hasn't changed since we've gone virtual. Basically, coming back, if cell phones, students can have their cell phones as long as they know how to use their cell phones, meaning that they don't let it become a disruption in class. Most of the time, if they walk in, their cell phone is turned off or on silent, and they are paying attention, and it's not a disruption to them or the classroom or the teacher. It's pretty much, that's kind of the protocol. Obviously, if it becomes a problem, then we will have to implement progressive discipline. Just informing the parents. It starts with the teachers. They will be talking to the student, and then from there, if it goes on, if it becomes a problem or a disruption, they would communicate to the parents, and then follow the progressive discipline. If we needed to involve admin, which most of the time it's not an issue. Most of the time, students already know by now how to use their cell phones while on school. And the only other thing with the cell phones is sometimes teachers do ask students to take them out, and sometimes they use them as a learning tool, and that's completely all right, and it helps the teacher. And it's something that we use as a positive, that can be used as a positive in the classroom. But as long as the students know how to use it, and I know as parents, you guys are talking to your students and letting them know that when it's appropriate to use it. Obviously, during passing period, they have 5 minutes to use it if they need to. But usually, same thing. As long as they are being respectful and not letting it get in the way of their learning, it should not be a problem.
Great, thank you, Ms. Mejia. And this is another frequently asked question. Ms. Rodriguez is asking it right now, but coming off of a year where all of our students received the Chromebook to go home because of distance learning, parents want to know if students can take an iPad, Chromebook, or other form of technology home for classwork or at school, either one.
Meaning they're bringing it from home?
Well, the question, we often get both questions. Are they going to be able to take some home, or are they going to be able to bring some to school with them?
We will have to get more clarification, because I know we did distribute and then we did collect a lot of items. So we need to see what our inventory is and how we can facilitate those items to students. Obviously, if students have that from home that they bring onto campus, we ask that they understand that that it's at their own risk. We don't want them to lose it or for it to get damaged. So we want to be careful if students do bring something from home. But we need to explore the question of if students from the school, if we can provide that again. That's something that we need to continue to explore with our district office to see how we can do that.
Great, thank you. Are buses going to be available for students on the first week of school?
Yes. Students will have busing on the first day, on that Wednesday, and it'll continue through the end of the year.
And there will be a late bus available, correct, Mr. Swans?
Yes, the late bus will not take place until the third week of school.
And that was a question from Ms. Dizol, if it was available for students who are taking tutoring and for sports. So the third week of school is when that late bus will come into effect. How do I know if my child has lunch first or second?
So what we did was we split the school up into two parts. We have basically the east side of the school and then the west side of the school. We just kind of drew a line, and then it's based on whoever's on the left side will have second lunch. Whoever's on the right side will have first lunch. And the reason is we had to be kind of strategic and make sure that it was split up evenly. So we took the total student population that's enrolled as of today, and then we kind of had to go down the rosters for those fourth and fifth period classes to see and make sure they were balanced.
Great, thank you. Here's another question from Ms. Cepeda. What if a student needs to quarantine? What policy do you have so that the students don't miss school for 10 days?
So one thing we are very blessed with is teachers that are very compassionate with giving students opportunities. And I know that we are going to try to do this in-house, where our teachers can reach out to the students that may be quarantined for up to that period of time and be flexible with the amount of work that they are given.
Yep, that's the best answer so far. We're kind of still navigating pandemic. We're not, obviously, as you all know, we're not fully out of a pandemic. We're dealing with this variant. So as we go along and get guidance, we are, as we did last year during virtual learning, that the compassionate grading, and teachers have been very compassionate and understanding of the situation that we are all in.
Yes, and please understand that, like it was mentioned, things are changing constantly. So please stay tuned, stay connected to our Parent Square app. Make sure you're up to date on the information that's being shared out. The district will also send out information about policies that there are being changed due to these the changes in our environment. So stay tuned. I know it's hard to not get those answers that we're looking for, but please just stay tuned, and we'll all get through this together as a South family. Ms. Vargas has a question: what is the policy for students if they have to stay home due to a cold, cough, etc.? So I believe Mr. Swans touched a little bit on that. Do you want to just elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, no problem. Again, we ask that any student that may have symptoms of COVID, that they stay home. And then if the parent or guardian can go ahead and call the 714-999-3667 phone number and talk to Millie. She, again, is our attendance clerk, and then go ahead and give her information. If the student is going to be out for a long period of time, we're also okay if you kind of get a hold of an assistant principal, either myself or Miss R, and then we can go ahead and keep in contact and in touch with you as well. But yeah, our goal is to definitely make sure that students and staff are safe and they're not, around other people who may have a cold or cough or something like that.
Great, and we are wrapping up on our presentation. It's almost time for us to go. So if we didn't get to your question, don't worry. We're going to take these questions and we're going to create a document that we're going to share out to our families addressing some of these frequently asked questions. Ms. Nieves, I will reach out to you for our PTA. If not, one of our PTA board members are going to reach out, but don't worry, we will be in contact with you soon. Again, thank you for expressing interest. Another question that I do see on here a lot, Mr. Swans, is what type of backpacks are students allowed to take? Would you be able to share or talk with parents before we wrap up our presentation?
Absolutely. So backpacks, we're not too picky with, just make sure that they have a bag that's going to be comfortable. If it's a JanSport, if it has colors, decorations, or stuff like that, we just want to make sure there's nothing derogatory or inappropriate on there. If they're going to put patches and stuff like that, make sure they're school appropriate. I am going to say that any student that caught with, taggings or any type of graffiti on a backpack, we will swap it out with one of ours. And then, just that's it. But JanSport backpacks, we're okay with those. If you want to get colorful ones, we're also okay with that. I do want to answer one of the questions by Monica Ortiz, if you don't mind. It says, are there cameras on campus? And are they for student safety? Absolutely. We have over 70 cameras here at South Junior High School, and they are for student safety. They're in every administrative office, and they are monitored. So, and the main reason is for students to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Great. Thank you. And I do see questions about dress code often popping up. So if you have questions about that, please check your email. We have sent out communication in regards to that. It's also available on our website, or you can go ahead and give us a call and get that information if you want to do it the old school way. So don't hesitate on reaching out and getting in touch with us. We are here to serve you.
Yes, and the message overall, students and families, is don't worry. I know there was a question there about wearing sweatpants for PE. If that makes you feel comfortable, then do it. We're not strict. We're working with everybody. We want to make sure everybody feels comfortable. So if you're not sure, just do it. I mean, we can always work to communicate things, but since we're starting off and there's a lot of anxiety and apprehension, we're going to work with your students. We're going to work with you to make sure we not only that we answer your questions, but I think the overall message from our team here is we want you to feel comfortable. So if your student needs whatever you feel they need, as a parent, do it for them. If they feel like, I need to wear those sweatpants, go ahead and let them. We can always, like I said, work towards the back end. And actually, sweatpants are allowed for PE from what I understand. As long as the student is participating, really, they can wear pretty much whatever they want. But anything that you feel your student needs, parents, to come to school ready to learn, just allow it. And if we feel there's a problem, we will reach out to you. But for the most part, we just want you to feel as less anxiety as possible. We want you to just come ready to learn and with no fears, no anxiety. And if there's any questions, there's a lot of the stuff that we're going to be providing through advisement and other meetings, like Mr. Kenny said, there's a lot already on the website. I know the question on Aries passwords has come up a few times. I know counselors are helping and other staff helps. They help our students access those passwords so they can get into Aries. For now, they really don't have to worry since they will be getting their schedules on that first day of school in their advisement period. So if you're a little anxious about getting those passwords to get their schedule, take a breath. The students will get a schedule, a paper copy that first day of school in their advisement. All right. Well, again, on behalf of our South Eagle family, we want to thank you for your attendance here today. A lot of great questions. We will get a lot of that information for you. Thank you for your time, and we will be reaching out and letting you know when there's more opportunities to come join us and ask more questions, because your questions help us become better educators and prepare for our students more and more. So thanks again. We will be seeing you soon.
Thank you. See you soon, families.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. So now what?
I think we leave studio.
Okay, we'll leave studio. Let's leave studio.